I want to spend the rest of my life with you. I promise I'll make you happy. Will you marry me?
Those were the words my husband told me when he proposed. Tears welled up in my eyes, blurring my vision. His words struck a chord deep within my heart. I felt engulfed by immense happiness. With him by my side, I felt we could conquer any challenge. No matter what, we'd support each other. Absolutely. Then one day, he shattered my world.
I've fallen for someone else. I want a divorce.
What? Who could have seen this coming? My husband, with whom I'd spent 6 years, suddenly asking for a divorce? My name is Emily. I've been married to Samuel for 6 years. We'd even just celebrated our anniversary with a lovely dinner at our favorite restaurant. We enjoyed fine wine and a delicious meal. So why now? Wait a minute. You found someone else, and you want a divorce? This has to be a joke, right? I was so stunned that I blurted out the question, even laughing at the absurdity. But Samuel looked deadly serious. There was no trace of his usual gentle demeanor. Is this for real?
Do you think I'd joke about something like this?
Samuel responded with an icy tone I'd never heard before. Hey, why? We've never had big fights. We've always gotten along so well. Why are you doing this? The tears began to well up again. Was I the only one who thought we had a great marriage? Did I miss that he had fallen for someone else?
I want kids.
What? Kids?
If I stay with you, that's not gonna happen, right? So I want to get divorced and marry her instead.
Yes, Samuel was right. I can't have children. I found out 3 years into our marriage. Even though we were trying to conceive, nothing was happening. I got tests done, and it turned out the problem was with me. The shock was so big, I even thought about divorcing Samuel. With me, he'd never have the family with kids he wanted. It'd be better for him to find happiness with someone else. I thought that, but then Samuel said to me,
I married you because I love you, Emily. We don't need kids to be happy, do we?
His words saved me, and I stopped blaming myself. I decided to enjoy our life together. So why now, after all we've been through? Samuel, you said we were enough, even without kids, remember? My voice trembles, but his expression doesn't change.
That was just a front. Of course I want kids. I'm tired of putting up with you.
Samuel says it without hiding his irritation. It's unthinkable coming from the man who used to be so kind. Tired of dealing with my life? What does that even mean? I too have been lying to build a happy life despite my own struggles. I wanted to yell at Samuel right then and there. But it's true. I've made him endure a lot because of my situation. He must have had his own struggles. And those words weren't lies. I can't bear to think that the comforting words from Samuel were false. With that fault, I can't find it in me to blame him. The reason Samuel has turned cold is probably my fault. As these thoughts swirl in my head, Samuel speaks again.
Just give me a divorce. I've already promised to marry her. You're just in the way now.
In the way? Hey, you can't talk like that no matter how much you want to. Even I, who had been feeling somewhat apologetic towards Samuel up to this point, was offended by the word in the way.
Isn't it obvious? I've lived with you, an infertile wife, for 6 years. Shouldn't you be thanking me instead? Haha.
Samuel says, laughing as if he doesn't see his own cruelty. Feeling nauseated, I saw a side of Samuel I had never seen before. You really felt that way, huh? So, all that talk about being happy without kids was a lie.
Obviously. I haven't felt happy since I found out you were infertile. My life has been hell, and all I think about is getting divorced as soon as possible, haha.
Samuel nonchalantly spewed these words. In that moment, my feelings for him began to chill. He has no intention of rebuilding our marriage. He couldn't care less about me. All he sees is a bright future with his affair partner. Realizing this, it all seemed foolish. Fine, let's divorce. Just make sure you pay me alimony. At my proposal, Samuel laughed it off.
Alimony. I'm the one who should be getting paid. You've been an infertile wife for 6 years. You've wasted 6 years of my life, so don't you dare ask for alimony. Ha ha ha.
At that moment, I felt a surge of anger rise from deep within. Just because I can't have children doesn't give him the right to say all that. We are still married, legally. There's no excuse for him to cheat. My disgust for Samuel morphed into pure hatred. I won't be the only one suffering. I refuse to let things go his way. I'll make sure he faces a hellish revenge. Time to act. First, evidence of his cheating. I can't divorce him without it. I faced Samuel. I'm okay with breaking up, but wait 2 weeks. A sudden divorce needs some preparations.
Fine, just 2 weeks. After that, we're definitely divorcing.
Annoyed, Samuel left the house. Later, I packed my things and visited a detective agency during my work break. I asked them to investigate Samuel for a week and collect as much evidence of his cheating as possible. Blinded by my agreement to divorce, Samuel met frequently with his affair partner, a woman named Scarlett, even visiting her apartment openly. Every day after work, they would rendezvous and shop at high-end brand stores, emerging laden with shopping bags. All of the stores cater to women, likely because Samuel was spoiling her. Photos caught Scarlett smiling ear to ear, and Samuel smitten as they left the shops. According to the detective agency, they dine at fancy restaurants almost every night, with Samuel footing all the bills. He's splurging an astonishing amount. Where is he even getting all this money? So, he splurges on Scarlett but won't buy me a single gift? Well, on the bright side, I've collected way more evidence than I ever imagined. Even the detective agency said,
Thanks to you, our job was easy, haha.
Then, one day after the promised 2 weeks had passed, as I was filling out the divorce papers Samuel had sent me, my phone rang. Hello?
Hey, it's me. Did you fill out the divorce papers? Hurry it up.
His tone was dripping with condescension. I'm on it. I'll drop it off later. Samuel heaved a loud sigh and snapped.
You're always so slow. Pack up your stuff and get out. This is going to be the house where my new love and I live. Take all your stuff with you.
He hung up without waiting for a reply. This is going to be the house where his new love and he will live, huh? That's a laugh. Who's the one who's lived here all this time? Take all my stuff? Didn't need to be told. Because that's the final step in my revenge plan. It's scary how much I'm enjoying this. No turning back now. I'm going to drag him through the mud. Just as I finished packing and signing the divorce papers, I heard a noise at the front door.
Are you still here?
It was Samuel. Why are you here, Samuel? With a smug look on his face, he answered,
I've been living at her place. I didn't bring enough clothes, so I came back to take everything.
Good timing. I have some documents I need you to fill out too. I took a piece of paper out of my bag and handed it to him.
What's this?
I talked to my lawyer to avoid any issues post-divorce. It's a legal agreement. Read it carefully and sign. Despite my warning, he scribbled his signature impatiently and tossed the paper back at me.
You're such a hassle. Even without this, I have no intention of ever dealing with you again. Ha ha ha.
And with that, he headed to his room to collect his things. He should have read it carefully like I advised. I chuckled with a sense of triumph. I knew Samuel was the type to skim over details, avoiding the fine print. But I didn't expect things to go this smoothly. Feeling pleased, I packed up all my belongings in the house. The next day, I filed for divorce and hired movers to take everything to my parents' house. I plan to live alone eventually, but for now, I'll be staying with Mom and Dad. I had already filled them in on the divorce. They were furious at first, but when I told them my plan, they both agreed it was a great idea. Just a few days later, Samuel called me sooner than I had expected.
What the hell is going on?
As soon as I picked up, Samuel started yelling. What are you talking about?
What do you mean, what? Why is the house empty?
Panicking, or maybe just enraged, Samuel spewed a string of expletives. I explained the situation calmly. Well, you told me to take all my stuff, right? So I did exactly as you said.
That doesn't make it okay. The furniture is gone. We bought those with our savings.
Samuel was fuming, selectively forgetting facts, so I clarified again. Selective memory much? I bought everything in that house with my money. Remember when you lost your job right after we got engaged? My income supported us both. I won't let you forget that. After hearing this, Samuel went silent. Yes, right after we got engaged and bought a place, he lost his job. I bought all the furniture and household items. I had even been covering the mortgage for our condo. It seemed he finally remembered, losing all his bravado. Aw, gone quiet, have you? Haha, just remembered, huh? Oh, and by the way, that condo is marital property. If we sell it, you owe me half the sale price.
What? I never heard about this.
Well, you did sign the papers, didn't you? I told you to read them carefully. This is what happens when you don't, haha.
Signed? You mean on that document?
It seems the dim-witted man finally realized. The document I had Samuel sign was full of important clauses. Not just about dividing assets, but also compensation from both Samuel and Scarlett in the divorce settlement. Furthermore, I had provisions for immediate legal action if he tried to contest it. Hearing my explanation, Samuel was at a loss for words. Over the phone, I could hear him sobbing. Why are you crying? Wait a minute, do you even have the right to cry after cheating on me? I'm the one who's hurt here.
What do you mean? I don't get what's so bad about what I did.
I was completely dumbfounded that Samuel still didn't get that he was in the wrong. What a pathetic man. You're really a lost cause. Thanks for bringing up divorce. I feel so relieved knowing parting ways was the right choice. With those final words to Samuel, I hung up. I blocked his number to make sure he couldn't contact me again. Next, I had my lawyer demand alimony from both Samuel and Scarlett. Surprisingly, they had already broken up. According to my lawyer, Scarlett actually had another boyfriend. So Samuel was just a fling for her. Scarlett was furious when she was sued for alimony. Why the hell do I have to pay? I was just having fun with that guy. After reluctantly paying the alimony, Scarlett immediately dumped Samuel. Who could have seen this ending coming? From my perspective, it serves them right. Samuel, who was considering remarrying, got dumped and suffered a mental breakdown, even taking a leave from work. Then he called my parents home.
I'm selling the apartment, and I'll pay what I owe. I was wrong. Can we try again?
Obviously, I had no interest. Don't bother me ever again. If you do, I'll call the police. Goodbye. I hung up after saying that. I made sure to block his number at my parents' home as well. It turns out he was in debt from showering Scarlett with gifts, and now he's running from creditors. No wonder he was spending so much on her. If he was spending all that money on designer brands and fancy dinners, his salary wouldn't cut it. But to think he was even going into debt for her? Rumors about Samuel's affairs, divorce, and debts are swirling at his workplace, and he's now facing termination. Is it sad? Not for me. This has become my perfect revenge. I have no regrets. Samuel brought this all on himself. From now on, I'll live solely for my own happiness. I made a firm vow to myself.